What are we training today? A little bit of shoulders. All right, testing. Let me just check, boys. Testing. Sounds good. All right, guys, going to give you 30 to 60 seconds to get piled in here. And let's have a talk. Let's have a chat. Going to go over some of my pills. Well, my only pill, because a lot of guys have been asking. Going to talk about more general kind of topics here. And yeah, let me know where you are, what time zone it is, what pills you're running, and any questions you have, as long as they're not retarded about price predictions, and we'll be absolutely fine. I know maybe Parker warmed some of you guys up, which is always nice. All right, cool. I'm just going to go here, do the first part of this video, and then you guys can bang in questions as we start to get this going. So the title of this video is here for a reason. This is a crypto market crash, or is this the biggest opportunity of 2026? And I don't typically like to make these kind of videos, but hopefully you can read between the lines that I'm not talking about the market's going to do amazing, the market's going to do shit. But I see buying blue chips coins like crazy. Good fucking boy. Man. Hopefully blue chips are not too far down the line, because I think a lot of people, especially in 2025, blue chips were like just not clearly blue chips. But, you know, buying at discounts is probably going to be a good bet. So last month, market data, crypto bubbles. It's been a while since I've been on this website, to be honest, because I've not really made a kind of video like this in a while. And that is because we've just been on the side running our group, and running DeFi portfolios, and obviously back in Thailand. But I think it's interesting to look at the last month on crypto bubbles. And we're talking about the last month, the last 30 days, okay? This is the top 1, e.g. Bitcoin, to the top 100 coins of the whole cryptocurrency market cap. You have literally investments down 40 to 50% across the board. And I think that is scary to a lot of people, because they'll be like, you know, imagine putting in something and then 30 days later, it being worth 50% less. I don't think there's much fucking investment vehicles that can give you such a bad short-term loss, if we be honest. Obviously, most of you guys are not planning to sell, hopefully, but it's interesting, right? It's interesting how strong you have to be in cryptocurrency compared to most fields. You know, a lot of other investment vehicles, you don't really see that, right? You don't buy a house in 30 days, it's down 50%. You don't buy the S&P and the next 30 days, it's down 50%. You don't even buy a brand new car, realistically, and in the next 30 days, even if it's the worst car ever, it's really down 50%. We're talking about real fucking money being wiped out of the cryptocurrency market right now. And that is the title of this video, right? Because is this a market crash where everybody fucking panic sells? Or is this the biggest opportunity because you're now being able to buy coins that you probably like at 50% discount? So every $1, okay, is now honestly worth 2 in purchasing power. Could we go down lower? That's great. Could we not? We're going to talk about that. But I think it's very interesting to kind of take note of that, on how volatile cryptocurrency can be, because it can be scary. If you're running cryptocurrency by yourself and you don't really have anybody in the real world involved with you, you know, you might have some sleepless nights, and that's not fun for everybody. You know what I mean? So I think the reason why I'm making this video in the first place, before we even get into the video, and just say, hey, it's okay, bro. You're taking risks, you're taking action, but you know, if you're doing the right things, you will probably be rewarded. But I can understand if I was by myself and I had nobody in the real world back in the UK, okay, it's -2 last time I checked there yesterday, and you're by yourself and you don't have anybody in crypto and everybody thinks it's a scam, it can be very fucking depressing and a lonely journey. But that is fine, because times will turn, in my opinion. So let's get in. Last month, data, let's touch on this. This is a real facts. This is where we are right now. The top 100 coins in the cryptocurrency market cap are mostly down 30 to 50%. Okay? That's where we are right now. And you get two sides. You get guys that thinks it's over, or you get guys that take advantage of every dollar they have is going to be, yes, this will always be recorded, don't worry. Everybody always asks that. It usually takes about 6 hours, 8 hours to actually come back on the YouTube video. So if you can't make it for this one, they always get pushed to the live section on the YouTube channel. Okay. Another thing, which is interesting, if you scale this out on Crypto Bubbles to, again, there's still top 1,000 coins. There's fucking millions of coins if you look in deck screen in the whole market. Basically, everything's down in the last month. Okay. And now we start to get to the 40, 50, 60, 70% fucking shits in the last month. Okay. I would argue that most of these coins are not going to be around, okay, and they're very risky. The top 100 is already pretty bad, but these ones, I can't have time to look at them all. There's 100 coins here, but I'm just saying maybe we should stay away from this for right now, would be my general piece of advice, till maybe the market gets some sort of life. But honestly, you don't have to play here anymore. Like, I just look at this, and I always think it's funny because I imagine, like, the older version of myself or my dad seeing this with his kind of mindset, and seeing coins like cock. COQ's down 50%. You just gotta like think about what you're buying. Like, all these fucking projects are literally retarded. Okay? They're pump and dumps. 1% will make a lot of money on this, but normal people will lose everything on this because they're DCing in. They think they're getting in cheaps on these coins that are not going to be around, and they're going to fizzle away. I can almost guarantee all of these coins, maybe bar from one, are going to fizzle away and go to zero. And that's the real, and that's going to save you so much money because you're just going to DC and the money's just going to keep going to fire, and then you're going to regret it, in my opinion. Now, sure, somebody will clip this, one of these coins will absolutely do amazing, and be like, oh, Jake, you were wrong. But did you choose that one? Did you get even in at the right price? Did you get out at the right price? Because there's a lot of people that had winning projects in 2021, my first rodeo in crypto, but they were winning projects till they weren't. I was there, you were probably there. The money was there on paper, but they didn't sell because they thought it was going higher. And it's the exact same thing that we're seeing right now, except the difference is in 2026, all of these coins, bar from one, potentially will go to zero, in my opinion. So I've got Render. Maybe. Why would I talk about Render? Just old project, dead project probably. Not really interested, can't monetize it. But I'll talk about it at the end if you want. Next thing I want to talk about is YouTube social media. Okay? Shit shows. Guys that we like, guys that we trust, just constant, trying to ride YouTube, hopium to get you guys to click. Now these guys, Peter, great fucking guy. Don't know who this guy is. Probably a great dude. But I've got to call this out a little bit. I just hate to see this, you know? I hate to see people switching up just because they're trying to click you into thinking about the market's going to go up, the market's going to go down. I just don't like that, right? I just really don't like that because if I was starting in cryptocurrency, I just wouldn't know what to do, right? Just wouldn't know what to do. Now, these guys are great guys. This is just what I typed in crypto, but it's just, the real point is, when you type in crypto, it's just like, you know, crypto to explode, don't miss this. When? And this video is just not going to be relative in the next 1 week because we're still waiting to explode. So I get why people do this. I have definitely been guilty of that before. But if the information inside doesn't match the title, I just don't like that because it just wrecks a newbie investor. And we really want to help the newbie investor, the retail investor. I'm a retail investor. He's a retail investor. You know, we don't have millions and millions and millions of dollars to just fuck around here and piss in the pot. So I just don't like that. Next thing, we talked about this before, the YouTube studio or the YouTube social media, the crypto platform X is 85% negative right now, 15% positive. The general market of, you know, outside of the world of CoinDesk, etc., we're still getting posts like this. Bitcoin's to crash to $38,000. And this is really just to scare you guys out so these big companies can buy more. They want you to sell to their crazy, greedy hands, and they want you to buy at the next peaks, and they can keep rinsing you over and over again, because what pretty much happens is this, right? If we just look at the inception, gentlemen, if we just look at the inception of just the normal Jeffrey investor compared to the guy that has been in the rodeo for years and years and years now, okay? This is all the way back to not even old time ago, like 2025, right? You had the guys buying the dips here, and what happened was you had the guys here, you know, thinking they were getting a discount. They read it all the way down, they get wrecked again. You have dip buyers again. Guys buying the top, they get wrecked. And then I'm not saying this is the bottom. Absolutely fucking not. None of us know what's going to happen. But if you were to imagine yourself and you had to place a bet, is Bitcoin going to be higher in the next 5 to 10 years than $68,000? I would argue that I would bet a lot of money, and we're betting on this. If you guys are investing right now, you're betting on this with your real money. We're placing bets, okay? So nobody in here probably doesn't have a, not of a crypto portfolio. So we're placing bets all the time. But it's just always proven to me and always proven correct to buy dips when you have cash. And if you want to keep going down the line, you can. The real question, is this a crash or is the moment smart money gets rich, right? And what I really mean by that is these guys selling here, they're going to buy tops. These guys, hopefully like you, are doing the opposite. But again, there's always a chance that we could go down lower. But again, if you have the longer term mindset, it shouldn't scare you. What time zone are you? I'm in BKK +7. So right now it's 12 in the afternoon. What time zone are you? I would ask you. Next thing, let's talk about this. Liquidation heat maps. A lot of liquidations being happened. The biggest problem we have is, I think when I checked this before on the last 24 hours, we have this, I believe, could get taken out. So there's still a lot of leverage potentially going to get taken out, which is obviously going to cause forced liquidations, which is obviously going to make the price go lower. And I don't like to say that because that will scare a lot of people, but that's just the reality, right? That's just the reality. We're going to get more scam wicks from exchanges that prices wick down and just wipe a lot of people out. And then immediately the next hour, they'll be like, where the fuck's my Bitcoin? Where the fuck, like I was on a leverage trade here. Like we didn't even go to that price. You would just see a scam wick. We're going to have more of that. I can almost guarantee that. But you guys are hodlers anyways, so it shouldn't mind you. Here's the thing I want to talk about as well is the actual guys behind the scenes, not the companies pushing fear to you guys. These guys are banned. This is MicroStrategy's with Michael Saylor. This is his Bitcoin purchasing all the time. So you can just see 4 or 5 days ago, he bought a fuck ton of Bitcoin. A week before that, bought a fuck ton of Bitcoin. This is the definition of all in and buying, not the greatest prices because he's just been buying consistently. He doesn't care where this is going to go in the short term. Don't worry, I'll get to your questions in a second, bro, especially with pools, okay? I like this. This is what I like. I don't like companies fucking making up fake news, price predictions that Bitcoin is going to go to $38,000 when they want to take from you. Michael Saylor trying to give you value, if you like Bitcoin or not. He's just trying to share his opinion. I like that. Next thing is obviously Binance. Don't necessarily like Binance. They banned me a while ago in 2021. But, it is what it is. They can control whoever they want to do. But I know a lot of people use Binance. And they purchased, the other day, $300 million because they're trying to get up to $1 billion in their SafeView fund. So they're taking advantage. Tom Lee, he's been banned for fucking ages. Ethereum, this was August 2024 or 2025, August 24th. $45 million worth of Ethereum here. Very good. 10,000 Ethereum in September. November 10th, he bought another $23,000 of 23,000 Ethereum worth 82.8 million. And it's nice to see the guys go all in, right? Because it gives you some confidence because a lot of guys are thinking, well, normal people or the bigger players are thinking Bitcoin's just going to keep going down and they're saying it's going to go down. But if you look behind the scenes, you'll see the individual guys that are running their own shit are actually buying, bro. And that can give me, and this does give me a lot of confidence, especially if I was starting out, because it's almost like there's guys on your side compared to it just feels like you're by yourself. I fucking like that. I don't like when companies or news articles, fake news, are trying to scare you of something that's not true. They're paid to do that so they can just rinse you again. So I like this. It gives you a lot of confidence. And this should give you guys in chat a lot of confidence. Not necessarily to buy, but just to say, hey, maybe I'm on the right track. Maybe cryptocurrency is taking a little bit of a beating right now, but in the long term, we'll be rewarded because Tom Lee, Michael Saylor, etc., is not here to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. They'll take the risk. They could be wrong, but we all know that they're here to fucking make more money. So they're taking the risk and they're buying regardless of the price. Whenever they get income from the businesses, they're funneling in. Us normies, okay, that don't have millions and millions of dollars, we're just at a smaller scale, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, next thing. Trading view. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. So negatives is we always say the trend is your friend. This is more for short-term guys, and this is our GG indicator that we have in our side of our skill group for guys that maybe want to get the best DCAs. like if we were being honest, this did pretty much call the top, give or take $8,000, $9,000 off when it flipped to red. And right now the trend is fucking going in the wrong direction. It's just so far off the scale. This doesn't concern me as a DC investor because obviously you guys know I'm running a lot of pools, especially in that Ethereum pool. And I know there's going to be questions here. I'll get to them in a second at the end of this stream when we have time for questions. This doesn't concern me because this is more of a longer term play. But if you were thinking about the short term and maybe you were a trader, especially on the daily, I would just be very concerned with maybe taking out too much leverages or just too much leverage trading because it just looks like a falling knife in every single coin. There's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum just so far off, you know, Solana, everything's just literally so far off, right? So longer term investors, this doesn't really apply to us. It just is what it is. But those guys that are maybe taking some risky bets, I just want you to be careful because I always remember one story. We had a guy in our group that joined. He was actually from East Kilbride, where I used to work at the gym 6-7 years ago now. And basically he had a full Bitcoin, and on that October 10th liquidation, he fucking lost it all. He lost it all. He lost his $1 million to $10 million play. If he can stay alive that long, he lost that. It might only have been worth, I don't know, $60,000 or whatever that price was on October 10th. But in future value, he lost $1 million plus. That's the reality from that dumb mistake of having leverage on where you didn't have to need to. You know, if you've acquired one Bitcoin, you've done very fucking well. You know, you've done very fucking well, even if you bought it at fucking $100 because you've managed to hold that through pain to massive FOMO, riding that up to 125K. Like if you've held that, that's fucking amazing. But the fact that he's now lost that and he's had to start building again, that scares me for the guys that want to accumulate one Bitcoin. Because you will be a millionaire, maybe not in purchasing power of today's value, if you can just get to one Bitcoin. So anybody that loses their Bitcoin needs to be having a look hard self in their mirror if we've got leverage trades on Bitcoin. Dumb mistake, in my opinion. Maybe with a little small portfolio, but not a full Bitcoin that can potentially get liquidated, and you give that back to the exchange, and you're left there with nothing. Because then you have to start again. Because now you're buying Bitcoin at 68K when maybe you bought that Bitcoin at 5, 6, 7, 3K in COVID prices. Okay? It's a very different game now to get one Bitcoin than it was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Very hard to do for the normal person, if not impossible for the normal person right now. It's going to take fucking years. So don't waste it, because that's dumb. Let's talk about something else, and then we'll get to questions. So here's 3 things I want to talk about. Take them for good, take them for worse. This is just the reality. COVID was a very interesting time for me when I first started. Congrats, bro, for showing your face. I show my face every single stream. The fuck are you talking about, bro? COVID was a very interesting time for me because I was too much of a paper hand pansy to buy the dip. I was always looking at getting cryptocurrency, made a lot of money in e-com. I bought late for when I wanted to buy. So you could get Bitcoin roughly $4,000 back here. My first Bitcoin was like 17, 18, 19K. So, you know, I didn't want to rush into the process because I didn't know how to set up exchange. I didn't even know how to buy the thing, let alone where to put it. But I missed an opportunity. Now, I'm not saying we're at these lower prices right now, but it's just put in perspective. I bought 5 times the price than when I was really, really considering it, but I just didn't take action. Okay? That's what happened. So and I bought 6 figures plus back here. So for every $100,000 that I would have put in back here, it's all about perspective, it cost me 5x in the amount of Bitcoin I would have been able to buy. That's the reality. So this was 2020. This was past moments on extreme fear. But guess what happened? It always fucking rebounded. You look at 2022, June, November, was a painful year for crypto. Obviously, it was that bear market, right? You had Terra Luna collapsing, Bitcoin fell to nearly $20,000 from the 69K, and then obviously FTX went bankrupt and Bitcoin dropped around to 15.5K when a lot of us got wrecked on Celsius. This was peak fear. Many people gave up in crypto, but what happened to the guys that never gave up in crypto? Pretty obvious. 2023 was tough as well, but it also started to recover, right? This is when your DCAs in 22 and 23 started to show some success. Because everybody else thinks in cryptocurrency you're going to buy something and it's just going to be clockwork and you're going to make a lot of money. It never works like that. Usually when people buy something, it always goes down. It's a harsh reality. That's typically what happens. So early 23, prices dipped again. August 23, another sharp drop. But guess what? These dips help the market reset before moving higher in 24 and 25. Okay? What happens 6 to 12 months after all of these moments? The key message here is extreme fear usually always on your solid coins, especially on Bitcoin, if we just want to keep it level 1 basic, usually marks accumulation zones, okay, and not the tops. So I'm not saying we're at the bottom. We're not calling anything like that. What I am saying is, if you have cash and you wanted to start getting down your averages, it might be a good idea to set something up, even if it's on Coinbase, where you're just putting $100 in every single week and you have a 3 to 4K clip. You're going to get that sum average. Because if you try and wait for the bottom, I see a lot of guys on my stream say, Bitcoin's going to 30K, and then we have another guy saying Bitcoin's got 50K, whatever, it doesn't matter. But they're waiting for this specific price, and you're not that guy. You're not going to be able to time that right. There's no fucking chance. And the truth is, it's going to make no difference if you buy a 51K to 50K. It's going to make no difference. It makes a difference to Michael Saylor when he's chucking in $100 million plus on his buys, but he still doesn't care. He does not give a fuck. He wants to scoop as much as possible. And I think that's a key message that I got sucked into previous times in my investing journey, was I was going to wait for this price because I want to get more, and that in reality makes sense. But most of the time, it never hits that price, and that goes for the same with selling as well. I'm going to wait for 150K in 2025 because it's 4-year altcoin season. That's when I'll start scaling out. And I can't tell you how many times myself and many other guys have just been there holding the bag. It's dumb shit. It's retarded. So let's not do that. Opportunity. So what's the opportunity right now in cryptocurrency if we were to take this on a longer term horizon? So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this as well. Okay, so the opportunity right now is lower entry prices. This is the time that you get to DCA with liquidity pools if you are running that like a lot of our guys are. This is also about value investing. We talk about this all the time. Looking at the longer term upside compared to short term fucking madness and in the weeds. And then you have to ask yourself, once you do those first two things, is the risk / reward making sense for your current situation right now? Because my situation and the 74 people in here in live chat, 74, there's probably 30 at least different situations, okay? And that means how much you currently spend in a month. Are you in debt already? Do you own the house? Are you single? Are you married? Do you have kids? All of these questions that you need to ask yourself, if you're looking at buying cryptocurrency, there's massive more reward for the guy that is 18-year-old, single, doesn't have a mortgage, lives with his mom and dad, doesn't have a car and finance. He has no risk for all the rewards. The opposite is true as well. If you have the 48-year-old guy that has a massive mortgage, 2 BMWs on fucking finance, a wife, a dog, and 4 kids, he has all the risk. Okay, because if he fucks up, and we've seen this happen, the wife leaves him. The mortgage never gets paid. The BMWs are gone. And he's back at square one. And that's why it's always about, are you live every day? Yes. Yes, I am. Don't understand. But yes, we are live every single day. So you have to ask yourself, does the risk / reward make sense? And again, that's my situation, not yours. So for me, I have really no risk, okay? As long as I can pay my boys and I can pay my editor and I can fucking survive, I'll be fine. Worst case scenario, really there's not for me, because I've set myself up where crypto, I've got other investments. It's just hard for me to lose compared to if I was 45, didn't have other investments, had a wife, had such a fucking huge expense. Like I spend a lot of money, like here's the rule, I spend a lot of money per month on stuff I don't need to, like this place, which costs $8K for 2 weeks that me and Parker split, the Costa Movie Mastermind. But if at any time shit got hard, I could literally drop my expenses to 0. And that means going back to the UK if it just went wrong, living with my mum and dad. Like I could drop that. Or I just move with my girlfriend here in Thailand and she just does everything. Like that's the difference, and that's a nice place to be, but it's also the harsh reality for somebody that can't do that. So you have to ask yourself, does it make sense to invest right now, but investing with having a backup plan? Because you have to ask yourself, if it's not Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you're investing in a blue chip and it goes wrong, you need to have a backup plan. It's very important. And just put it in the S&P 500. Yeah, I've got over 500,000 pounds in the S&P 500. That's a real. That's what I have. I don't like it. I think it's a waste. It doesn't pay me. It goes up 10%. There's no cash flow. But that's the reality, right? I did the maths. That's going to be worth tens, 8 figures plus by the time I'm 65 or whatever that these compound interest calculators calculate. I don't give a fuck about that, but my dad forced me to do that, just in case this all went wrong. So, yeah, I wish I didn't have that, but he's almost forced me to do that. So sometimes you have to listen to your father. 200K in crypto is massive. That would print stupid amount of yield. Yeah, it is. You're 19 and worried that 200K in crypto is not enough. Are you out your fucking mind, bro? Like, if you're 19 and you actually have $200,000 in crypto, you are fucking one of the best guys in this chat by miles. And it's only because you're 19. If you're 39 and you have 200K, it's like, okay, you've done well. Okay? You're doing well to the normal person, but the fact that you're 19 and have crypto of $200,000, you have done super, super well. And I can reason with you that why you're worried is because you don't want to lose it, right? But if you lose it, you know, how could you lose it if you're in safe assets, right? You want to split that up. You maybe want to put some in DeFi portfolio, but you can really set up your life for the rest of your fucking life if you really want to. I would like to know how you got the $200,000. Okay, maybe teach somebody in this chat, because we've all got different stories. Like, how are you at 19, unless it wasn't riding a shitcoin pump and you just got lucky? Because number one, I just won't believe you. How did you get $200,000 at 19 in cryptocurrency? Like, teach us. That's fucking amazing. Help the guy that's 29, 39, 49, 59 that has $200 in crypto that can't make next month's rent. What did you do? Was it a business? I would love to know. It's all in Solana. I'll have a look in a second. So while you guys are popping in, that's cool. But I want to touch on that 19-year-old because I want to know how did he get that? I'm guessing it was a business. Hopefully, it wasn't a trust fund kid, because if it was, I've lost all respect. So that 19-year-old, comment right now on how you got that $200,000, because you're going to help a lot of guys out here that can be relatable, and it's going to kick up a lot of guys' arses that are 29, 39, 49 that haven't got that. Okay, but it's also going to help them and hopefully motivate them. Here's a risk section while he's doing that. The prices could drop down further. That's reality. If you're holding, doesn't really fucking matter if you're in blue chips, e.g. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe some other ones, because you still hold the Bitcoin, you still hold the Ethereum. It's just the dollar value that has went down. Got to stop the panic. No one also knows the exact bottoms. Let's just be real. And it's like, you feel like you want to buy and sell all the time. And it's just like, the most majority of people that do that end up having less Bitcoin or less Ethereum in the long term, most of the time. Position size matters, and DCA beats emotional entries. That's just the reality, sorry. So, potential things that could happen. Ethereum is at $2,000, I think, and some change. It could go down. Coins that you're investing in, and what I'm personally doing in. So I'm going to touch comments in a second, but that's all I wanted to talk about on that second. This is something I'm not touched on as well for a while. So altcoin season index, we're at 29, and the Bitcoin dominance chart is 58. Okay, that's just numbers. Don't really look at this too much, to be honest, but some people like to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, whether it's 58% or 48%. People go wild over this, and it's just like, it's never really concerned me, to be 100% honest. Pills, or pills, as you like to say. I'm doing well. Fees are coming down a little bit, but we are doing the mission. Yesterday we claimed, I think it was $120 on stream. I forgot the exact number. We're stacking USDC. We're almost at $2,500 just in the USDC from these pills. So here's the thing. That's $2,400 that I've had from doing nothing. Okay, and this is excluding two pills that aren't even in range right now, just the wider ones. So that's $2,400 that, you know, might be 2 weeks or 3 weeks or maybe even a full month of your income from doing nothing. That's fucking pretty crazy to me that I can do whatever I want with. And yeah, it's a cool thing to be. Questions. Let's get to questions. Now's your time to drop them. If you decide to do so. Talk about Render. Okay, I'll give this guy the second of the doubt. Render was an AI coin, or is an AI coin, in brackets, that everybody was bullish on at $12. Everybody started to get bullish on at $9. There was potential bullishness, but a lot of people were losing hope at $5. They were like, okay, maybe it goes back to all-time high at $4. There's a little pump here at $2. And now everybody's like, what happened to Render? Render's just fucking Render, bro. Nvidia did well in the stock market. It's just hard to fucking predict these coins when Bitcoin's going down. This is such a risky asset, and again, this is not what I would categorize as a blue chip anymore. Okay, it's just fucking render. It's doing some cool stuff with GPUs, whatever, etc. But it's just like, what is the coin doing against Bitcoin? And would I be better enough holding Bitcoin? And the answer in this case has been yes. So has render been a good investment thus far? No. Could it do well in the future? Maybe. But it's just too much risk for me because combined with the pools, combined with everything else going on, it's just too much stressful, right? It's too much stressful. Can you get yield in it right now? Barely any on Orica. So it takes a lot of no's and literally no yeses. The only yes this does tick is it could go back to Ultimate and beyond, but that's not a big enough tick for me to even invest anything more into this on the dips. If you like it and you believe in it, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Would you recommend just buying spot rather than leverage trading? So the fact that you're asking that question is obviously, yes, I would recommend buying spot, because obviously if you don't know how to leverage trade or trade, you're going to be like that guy that I told you at the start of the video that goes to my old gym that I used to work at that lost his full Bitcoin. Because there's nothing worse than you doing your hard work, winning some trades, and then you lose it all because you get fucking greedy because some exchange wiped you out. I always recommend doing a hybrid version of that. So you buy spot, like we just talked about here on Ethereum. You also put that in pools if you know what you're doing. By the way, you can click the link in the pinned comment. You can book a free call. We have a free call. And if you want to scale this up, you can do so below. We've had a few guys join. Got a lot of calls to do. We've got over 154 members now, which is crazy to see. Because these guys are buying spot, but they're also monetizing it like I'm doing in real time for this Thailand portfolio. It's an extra $2,400 that I would never had that I can do whatever I want. So this is how you win, bro. With trading, it's fucking difficult, and you can get some big W's, but one big L, and you're like the East Kilbride guy, and you have to start again. That's the difference. So I recommend doing whatever you feel comfortable with. The fact that you asked, should you do trading, signals to me that you shouldn't do trading, if that makes sense. Are you doing any stablecoin yield farming or just Ethereum USDC? I'm not doing any stablecoin yield farming right now. I don't think it makes sense. I think prices are pretty low. I've got the wide ranges on Ethereum down to $1,000. If we ever get there, don't think we will. I've always said 1.5. Some guys keep thinking I say Ethereum's going to $1,000. Like, I've never fucking said that, bro. Like, let's just be real. I have it down to there as it could happen, but I've always said 1.5K. And honestly, it doesn't matter if I'm wrong on that, because I have the ranges to accumulate Ethereum. The only way I lose in those Ethereum pools is if Ethereum never comes back. It just does nothing. Then I lose. But I'm talking about the number one altcoin in the whole world here, number two asset in the whole cryptocurrency. So that's why I'm betting big on Ethereum. And again, I showed you Tom Lee buying $82 million worth of whatever it was, 40,000 Ethereum. So he obviously doesn't want to lose 82 million, if that makes sense. So, yes, that's what I'm doing with that. Stablecoin pools, I don't know what they're paying. The assets are getting so cheap right now, where the USDC and USDT stablecoin pools are not going to pay anywhere nearly as enough. So I think it's a wasted opportunity, because you're probably going to lose, or you're losing currently right now. Maybe you're getting 10, 15, 20% on those per year compared to 80, 90, 100 plus with yields right now. You're losing 80%. So it's costing you 80% to do that. The biggest piece of advice I can give you there is, like, let's say you have a business that is doing 50K per year. So you make 50K per year in your business. That's fucking amazing. It's enough to quit your job. You're doing what you love. But the fact that you're not making $1 million per year, it's costing you 950K in opportunity. You just haven't mastered your skills to find that 950. So every year you waste and you don't want to invest in yourself, it's costing you 950K. And imagine if somebody had a product that cost $6,000 to $10,000, hypothetically, and you gave them that, and they could get you to that $1 million. Would that be worth it? Because it's cost you 950 today. That's the way I think about that. I've always been taught that in business, so yeah. In Ethereum Bitcoin pools, you print massive. There you go. Bro, 200K is plenty, absolutely. I live in Canada, so won't even be able to buy a house for like $2 million. There you go. Don't buy a house, rent a house. People that buy houses right now, if you're younger than 30, for 99% of them, it's dumb. Don't buy a house. Don't get a mortgage. Don't do that shit. You're going to regret it. I can almost guarantee it. Yes, listen to Dad. Don't worry, I did. Housing in Canada is truly effed. Why don't you just move? A lot of people just can't fathom the idea of moving because they've got a wife. Again, we talked about that with the 18-year-old compared to the 40-year-old. As you get older and as you get married and as you start to fucking have babies, I get it. But why don't you just move? You could move, bro. You could move. There's so much of the world out there that most of you guys probably haven't seen that you would like to see. You're going to die anyways. So why don't you just move and just see what happens? Okay, and this is why it's good not to own your house, because if you want to move, you can just move. You can pack your bag in a little suitcase, especially if you're single and by yourself. You definitely want to move. If you said to me, Canada is fucked, I don't like the weather, I don't like the people, I don't know anything about Canada, so this could all be wrong, but that's what I've heard. I don't like the prices, I don't like the rules, I don't like how strict it is. You could move. You could put your shit in a suitcase, and maybe you have DeFi pools that are paying for this lifestyle, or maybe you have an online job or an online you could just find this stuff and make it happen. Everybody always complains, but nobody wants to take action. And when they want to take action, they're 50, 60-year-old, and they're fucking too unhealthy to do it, and it's just like, it might as well just not try. So just move, bro. Honestly, just move. Should have diversified Solana and Ethereum. Good split. Depends on your goals. Depends on your goals. If you're monetizing, I wouldn't do Solana pools, I would do Ethereum and maybe Bitcoin, but I'm doing Ethereum right now. This channel helped me influence by my purchase HBAR. This is the best investment tool this day. Thank you. It's probably one of the most common videos I've heard about HBAR with me, because a lot of people bought HBAR like 40 cents and they didn't want to buy it cheaper. So yeah, I appreciate that. Because right now it's all in Solana. Okay, content creation, YouTube. I'm second year uni. Okay, so you've made 200K by being in YouTube at 19. That's fucking amazing, by the way. Fucking sick. So you've started your own business. I'd like to know what you make. I'm guessing it's not on this channel. But you're making content, faceless YouTube channel. I don't know what the niche is. But you've made $200,000, or you've had that in crypto from your YouTube channel. What you need to do is maybe, it's a little bit risky to be in Solana, but I think you'll be okay. Maybe you split some around the table, you put some in liquidity pools, maybe you book a free call below to learn how to do that. You do what you want to do. But you need to go all in on YouTube, bro. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. You have a business right now that's making you very good money at 19-year-old. You need to fucking go all in on YouTube. I'm not telling you to leave university, but it's probably going to be good for you. And then the profits, you invest in cryptocurrency and you scale into pools if you decide to do so. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. If that YouTube is consistent, and imagine if you had more time to put into that YouTube channel, bro, you're going to change your fucking life. Because you're doing so well right now at YouTube. You found a formula that works, and that's a great testament to people that say, hey, I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 50, and I don't know what to do. You're making it happen at 19. Amazing. You could do uni as well as a good backup, but I don't think you need it, bro, to be honest. But don't let me tell you to leave university. I just think it's a waste of time. Especially, here's why it's a waste of time for you. It's not a waste of time for most people that maybe want to be a doctor, and everybody always says that cliche thing. I hate when people say that. It's dumb shit. But the fact that you probably are going to make more than you can ever do, and you probably like doing YouTube. It's like, I love doing YouTube. It's pretty fucking passive. You get to talk about what you're doing. It's hard work some days. Like, nobody wants to wake up at 6, 7 a.m. You know, people want to sleep in until 9, 10, 11 a.m., okay? And they're just average YouTubers. But if you want to get the real work done and you like YouTube and you're making it work, you know, you probably don't want to be in uni, and you probably don't want to use the backup, and you're going to have more time if you're not at uni, and you can make more money. So do that. Sold 1.8K in HBAR, moving to monetize via monad pools, increasing the position. Nice. Do you think Solana will be around in 10 years from now? Honestly, I don't know. There's only two sure bets for me, and that's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Solana, I don't know. But I have some if and when. Always have some, but I don't know. And I don't want to tell you yes or no. And that's why you said you've got 200K in crypto. If it was me, not telling you what to do, I would put a little bit in Bitcoin, a little bit in Ethereum, and then I would monetize that Ethereum, maybe like I'm doing, to buy back the Solana for free. So you don't feel bad if like Solana is around and like, oh, I could have more Solana. Well, use that Solana to maybe put it in Ethereum pool to buy back Solana, and then you win either way. FedEx on H-bar, massive news, by the way. Amazing. No, currently right now I'm not, because I literally don't have time in Thailand. Time zones are all fucked up, and I'm going to Koh Samui, so right now, no, we had to put it on pause. But I'd like to get back to it, but it's just fucking impossible with all the stuff we're doing right now. Do you recommend using Solana pools? Currently right now I don't. There's better fees on Ethereum, for example. There's a reason why, I always say this, there's a reason why I started this pool with Ethereum, because it was paying more, it's a safer asset, it's not going to bleed as much. You could argue that, well, Solana will glow up more. Okay, fine, but we don't know that. And this is a more longer term play for cash flow. So, no. Yeah, parents just want me to go to uni to get a piece of paper as a safety net. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You got to, maybe you get that piece of paper, you get it done, but you're making 200K on YouTube, man. Or you've made 200K to put in crypto. If it's went up, it's went down. Like, amazing. So you got the best of both worlds there. You're probably never going to need that piece of paper. But if that keeps your parents off your back, you're 19-year-old, you know, you're over 18, you can do what you want. But it'd be nice still to listen to your parents, get it out of the way, and then do what you want to do. Nick Shannon, bro, I was literally just talking about you the other day. Where are you at, bro? Where are you at, bro? You still making rap videos? We were literally just talking about you the other day. And we need to see you, bro. We miss you. It's been a fucking while. But let me know where you're at. I'm guessing still USA or USA. Yeah, exactly. Low-key will make way more money through crypto and YouTube. And I'm guessing you like YouTube more than a university. I don't know. Because YouTube's fun as fuck. You get to travel the world if you decide to do so. You get to make a fuck ton of money as well. You get to hopefully influence people in the right way. Even with faceless accounts, you can do that. I've seen a lot of good ones. And you just provide value. And the biggest thing is you get that life of freedom. And maybe you have to pull up in a job in university. I don't like that. I've never liked that. What do you think about Tal? Never thought about it, to be honest. Sorry, bro. But yeah, that guy should lock in on YouTube. You've made $200,000 and you're 19-year-old, bro. Like, you have a formula there that fucking works, okay? Is it ad revenue? Is it a course? Is it mentoring? You need to think about how you can monetize that even more. Because if that's ad revenue, you got to think about how you can make a product. And you'll start having $1 million very, very soon. Very fucking nice to see. The only thing I got from uni so far is networking with other kids my age who also make online money. Why are you guys all at uni if you're all fucking having YouTube channels? You guys all have YouTube channels making money online, and you're fucking... Respect. What's your niche, bro? Tell me, can you drop the channel, or it's low-key? I'd love to see the channel. We love fucking seeing channels. But if you don't want it, that's fine. But yeah, what you need to do is you're 200K in Solana. You're asking me questions if it's going to be here in the next 10 years. It could be, but regardless of if it is and if it isn't, I wouldn't put any more money into Solana right now. I would take that income that you're consistently going to make and start buying Bitcoin and Ethereum so you can guarantee the win. Because what you don't want to happen, Asian parents. Nice. But that's amazing. That's amazing. So I'm not telling you to sell your Solana, bro. I'm just saying, hey, any more money that you're putting in crypto, maybe let's start spreading it up. Because again, you're different, right? You are a lot different from the guy that needs to buy the 1000X coin or the 100X coin and potentially get rich, but most likely lose it all. You have huge income. You have a scalable business that you can buy the solid coins, literally Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can be the Michael Saylor, but just obviously a less purchasing power, but it doesn't really fucking matter from you. Your goal for me is to get a Bitcoin and to get, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 Ethereum. That's my goal for you. If you can do that, great. Monad Ethereum, locked in 1.8, $20 daily, investment rewards with a 90% range and 415%. Let's see if this one cook and I'll provide an update. Amazing, let us know. We love to see you guys testing out pools. It makes us learn. It also helps guys in this chart start. Just DC all the way, eventually you'll accidentally buy the bottom. Couldn't say better myself. A lot of guys are just panicking right now, waiting for these perfect prices. It's never going to come, and they're going to buy carry anyway, so it doesn't matter. Amazing. So your dad's about it. Get that piece of paper and then do whatever you want. Amazing. Asian parents for the win. They're about it. But yeah. All right. We got to go gym soon. How long have we been? Let me check. Let's do 3-4 more questions. And let's run this. 3-4 more questions. Pools, coins, no price predictions. And we can do that. Because I got to go. My leg's dead. But yeah, you shouldn't be fearful, man. You shouldn't be fearful. Get more water from the store. Parker was crying there about no water left. The water for me, bro. They don't want to spend it on the good water. They're waiting for the free water. Buy the good water, Parker. You make enough money. You're printing so much. Buy the good water. And you'll never have to worry again. And also, you can buy the lemons. Oh, he's just drinking my water now. So not only is he not buying the water, he's just drinking my water. So now I'm going to have no water.
The maids come today, right? Maids come today.
They literally came yesterday.
Bring water inbound.
They literally came yesterday, so they should have brought water. They literally were here yesterday, if you forgot.
You white monsters is what I mean.
Why did they not bring water? They should bring the water. They're supposed to bring the water. Yeah, the problem with Parker is Monster is his water. And he's had no monsters. We do. We'll go. Awesome, no worries. I do these YouTube videos daily. It keeps me accountable. It keeps me informed in the market. But hopefully it gives you a bunch of value as well. When are you actually live? I'm live right now. Gym, eat, and be merry, gents. GG. GD to you too. Get that fucking physique up. Facts, buy good water. Yeah, water is the most important investment you'll ever make in your life. And I'm pissed off that I got not a glass bottle. Didn't have any glass bottles left. I don't know about me. I've just always been weird with water. It sounds so gay until you don't knock it till you try it. If I drink the other water, I just don't feel good.
I break out. Well, that's tap water. It's not so bad. It's bottled water, but
Yeah, I just like and it's not like, it's a little bit more to be honest, but it is what it is. You're only drinking 4 to 5 liters per day, or at least if you're me, I pee a lot, but like, it's just worth it, man, in my opinion. You know, even if it's just Evian, like you're not going to get the glass bottles all the time. You don't have to think about it too much. You don't have to be a fucking schizophrenic about it, but it's just like 80-20 rule all the time. If you can go to the gym most of the time and train hard, you'll get the job done. Don't freak out about it if you miss a workout. If you can eat good most of the time, you can have some cheap meals, it's fine. If you can drink good water 80% of the time, it's going to be fine. Snitches get stitches, bro. I'm sure they do. Snitches get stitches. What does that mean?
what?
Because I grassed you in about the cheap water, I think. I mean, what? All right, one more question. We gotta go. How's Investor Chip? That's your boy.
Stitches get stitches, bro.
What does that mean?
It's just the same.
This and Parker's channel on VFAT and all about liquidity pools has become the #1 channel on YouTube in my list that I always stay tuned to. Amazing, bro. Amazing. Okay, last question. Okay, Jesser. This is actually the last question because we could go all day. When do you and Parker get back? When you get back to BKK from Smooth?
We haven't decided.
Yeah, so he probably won't. Home time, honestly.
It just depends.
It just depends, probably.
That sounds exciting enough to leave.
But it will be early March. Yes, right?
I mean, I go to U.S. in March. Yeah.
So yeah.
There's no return trip from Koh Samui yet. My flight back home to the U.S. is from Bangkok, so it just depends on how much time I want back in the city before I go home.
Amazing. So if you're about, it looks like you got that kind of Bali fucking profile photo. So you're about, looks like you got the gym. Definitely hit us up. Because we're not afraid to meet you guys. And DeFi pools, where and how do I get set up? Click that link in the bio or in my description. We'll give you a free call if it makes sense. If it makes sense, if it doesn't, you get a free call. So you can always book a call. We've had a bunch of guys book calls, get good value and join the group. We've had a bunch of guys book the call and get a ton of value and just say, hey, it's not the right time. So you're not going to lose anything by 30 minutes of your time. So you can do that. Okay, last question, actually. Last question. Good morning, Jeffrey here. I want to get straight. I want to go all in on S&P, SPX 69,000 with $50. So that's a good move. What?
Meme coin, SPX 69,000.
I want to go straight all in this meme coin with 50 bucks. Is it a good move? Everyone back at work tells me so. So I hope you're fucking joking. That's the most retarded question I've ever heard in my life. But I
$50 gamble, I mean, whatever, but it's not an investment.
Yeah, like, do it for you, but it's not going to get you rich.
When you said all in, I was scared, and then you said $50, and it's like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah. I think you're joking, but like, that's fine, bro. 50 bucks, fine. But ideally, you want to get to the, this is literally what it wants to be, man. You want to get to the point where you have solid coins where you don't have to touch those coins. Now, I think you're joking, and it's fine. And it's fine if you're not. But wouldn't it be nice to get down the line where you don't have to touch coins that you just don't know, because you can just tell your mates at work that you just have Bitcoin. And they might argue with you on the shorter term when we're down right now, 40, 50% from the 125, but they can't argue with you in the long term. Okay? So wouldn't that be nice? And I get why you're doing it if you are serious, because maybe paycheck to paycheck, you got a big mortgage, it's fine. We've all been there. So my answer to you is buy the SPX 69000 with 50 bucks and just see what fucking happens. But nothing is going to happen. Like, even if it does well, you're not going to get rich. Like, it's not going to 1,000. It's just already went compared to what it was when it launched. So you're not going to get rich. Number two, you'll learn an important lesson that it's probably a waste of time to do this stuff again. So that's a big W for you. You're not going to lose. The worst case is you lose 50 bucks, but the best thing is you learn a very important lesson that you probably just wasted your time, and it's income from you. Be like the 19-year-old that has that YouTube channel with all his mates. He's 19, he's locked in YouTube, and he has $200,000 in fucking Solana. That's where the game changes. I want to meet you in real life one day. You probably will. A lot of people have here in Bangkok. I don't know where you're from. I think it was Canada, but you probably will. I would like to meet Jake too. Yes. Yes.
What's the thumbnail, bro?
I would like to meet Jake too. Yeah, no worries. I don't know. I'm using ChatGPT. With all that being said, guys, we're going to the gym. A couple guys were interested there. Book that free call and get in our group. We'd love to fucking help you, because times like this, when you have that portfolio, it's nice to start printing freer coins. Like, you're watching me doing it in free time with that Ethereum pool. There's a reason why I'm doing that, because not just to show you the fact that I want that passive income on that portfolio to do whatever I want with. And most of you guys by this chat, you have a decent portfolio, you're just not putting it to work. And the problem is, if you don't put it to work, at least some of it, you have to sell at higher prices. You make some money, that's fine, but it's like, what are you doing in between to get more income and to get more coins? And when you do sell, if you do sell, what do you do with that money? Because you have to get it back in the system anyways, okay? Nothing is going to happen if you do nothing. Get it done and stay poor. Love it. Love it. All right, boys. See you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you have a good day, good morning, good night. Been a pleasure as always. Yeah, we're going to Koh Samui in 4 days. It's going to be fun as fuck. I'm excited to go back to Koh Samui. It's been a while since I've been to Koh Samui. The mastermind is going to be amazing. The guys that we're going to shake hands with are going to be amazing. And I really want to hopefully see a couple of you guys next time we go out. It'll be absolutely amazing. Okay, last question. This is actually the last question. What happened to your Insta? Want to join 10K Fast Track ASAP? The Jeffrey skit was absolutely amazing, man. So there's a lot of fake Instagrams out there, so just be careful if it was actually me on Instagram, okay? A lot of people say I have TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but I've looked on TikTok at my name. Like, they're not me, so they're maybe going to scam you. They're probably going to scam you because it's not me. The Instagram account is like a personal Instagram account. I have like 162 followers. So if there's an account that has more than 162 followers, it's not me, and it never has been me. So and I'm telling you that for you not to get scammed. I have 162 followers on Instagram. I barely post in it. We've done some reels, we've done some stuff, but I'm not interested in Instagram right now. So just be careful. So you said there you want to join 10K Fast Track. So if you actually do, click the link in the description above. You don't need to go through Instagram. So just be careful, bro. Like, it's probably not me that you're talking to on Instagram, because I barely ever post on Instagram. I don't even have my Instagram account. My editor that's sleeping on the couch, she posts the stuff on Instagram. I don't touch the Instagram. I appreciate you too, brother. All right, bros. Gotta go.